bring up Mary Ellen Sedavid.
That is a tough act to follow. That was excellent. I got on the internet with my first book, Healing Words, Life Lessons to Inspire. And I got on the internet kicking and screaming because I didn't want to. I had always taught middle school for 15 years. I always taught in the inner city. That's just where my talent worked, was 7th and 8th grade. And I married Pete, my husband now. We've been together 21 years. Happy anniversary, sweetheart. And I always knew I wanted to write a book. Okay? God told me, I want you to write a book. I always listened to God. You know, when I was growing up, I had to listen to God because my family was very dysfunctional, and I always knew I had angels around me. So God says, write a book. Well, I tried to write a book about teaching, about education, because I thought, you know, I knew education has so many things that need to be fixed. I was always an excellent teacher. I went early, stayed late, were there for the kids, you know, had my heart into it with those kids that I still stay in touch with. And so I tried to write a book called The Unnoble Profession. And I struggled with it. You know how when you're struggling writing something, you know, and I'm thinking, this is just not working. And so God comes back and says, well, that's not what I want you to write about. Yeah. So then I started hearing these vignettes that are in this book, little poems like. I started actually hearing them. And he kept bugging me and bugging me and bugging me, God, you know. And I said, no, God, please get somebody else to write that. They're not going to listen to me. I mean, look at me glowing the dark hair. I mean, please, talk to somebody else. And he goes, no, you've got to write it. So Pete and I were on a trip, and all the way down in the trip, I had legal pads. I wrote longhand. Wrote all the way down on the trip, got to the hotel. Pete went to work. He came back to the hotel. He goes, well, we can go shopping now. And I said, no, I can't go. I got to write. He goes, you can't go shopping. And there on the front door is a FedEx envelope. And I'm talking to Pete on the phone. I said, oh, a FedEx envelope came for you. It wasn't for him. It was for me. It was a publishing contract from a publisher, different publisher. And I'm like, whoa, this is spooky, you know. And so I called them. I said, I don't understand how you got this. Well, we want to publish your book. So I went with them, and this book finally came out 2011 on my birthday, February 22nd, which is my birthday. And I thought that was God showing me, yeah, I had done His work. Okay, then I remember getting the box of books at home and just looking at them and thinking, oh gosh, now I got to sell them. You know, because writing the book is easy. Marketing it is hard. And it's not hard when you know in your knowing that what you wrote is good and is what God's purpose is for you. And I knew God wanted to get these out to people because this book teaches people how to wake up to themselves instead of always pointing a finger at somebody else and saying, well, you made me do that. No. They didn't make you do anything that you didn't choose to do on some level. Why did you make that choice? And the more I sold the book, and people kept coming back with, wow, that is really good. And I thought everybody would have a real issue with the one on death. And I had people come back and say, oh, your vignette on death really helped me get through the loss of somebody else. I went, wow. And it blew me away. So my publisher says, well, you have to go on the internet now, make yourself known. Well, so I had my website designer set up my Facebook page, excuse me, and I thought, okay, I wanted to do something that was similar to this book, but different. So I came up with the idea of a truth of the day. Okay, so I would sit down, and truth of the day would be something like, what you focus on expands, what you think about happens. That is one of God's total truths. And I don't just post them, I post them and I will write a paragraph or a couple paragraphs about it. And I always end it with enjoy your day. And I started writing them in 2011. And I've been writing them every day since. And on the weekends, I'll usually post a picture to give myself a break. I used to not post anything on holidays, again, to give myself a little break. And every time I want to stop writing them, God sends somebody to give me a comment like, oh, this really was exactly what I needed to hear today. This is exactly what I needed to do. And God will send you those messages. One of the things that's helpful out there, what was helpful to me, is a website called HARO. H-A-R-O. All capital letters, stands for Help a Reporter Out. Okay? H-A-R-O. That is the website that Cyrus and I met through. It's free. You can go on there and you can pick the categories that you want. So I would look for categories like, since I was diagnosed with MS, if somebody was looking for a positive influence with MS, or, I would look for, they have different queries, they call it, that they're looking for. And I think Cyrus was looking for authors or book or something. So I pitched him, wrote a little paragraph or whatever, and he came back and he said, oh, so that's how we started back in 2011 with the Healing Words book. Now, after writing so many truths of the day, my friends, followers, whatever you want to call it, my people that I'm so blessed to have follow me over there, came back and said, well, put your truths of the day in a book. I thought, okay. Well, I didn't want to use the ones that were out there already. I didn't think that was quite right. So I sat down and took about 7 months to write 366 more truths of the day. Now it's called Truth, Taking Responsibility Unleashes True Healing. Because truth, when you own your truth, when you live your truth, your healing is possible. Okay? Like I mentioned, I was diagnosed with MS. And yes, my MS monster does come out every once in a while when I need to take care of myself, when I need to slow down. And all of us need that time during the day for you. You have to push away from the kids, push away from the family, have time with God and yourself. So this book came out in 2018. Yeah, and Cyrus helped me with this one. And he wrote the foreword for it. I've been so blessed, and it's gotten a great response. So, like I said, my journey on a social media network was kicking and screaming. And now I do the truth, I post the truth, I wake up and post the truth of the day early every morning. I've started a show on Mondays called Miracles on Monday with Mary Ellen. I'm trying to help people see things